Dozens of flood warnings remain in place in parts of the UK, with the Environment Agency warning many areas could be at risk into next week. About 70 flood warnings, meaning flooding is expected, are in place in England and Wales, with 10 in Scotland. Heavy rain is falling in Northern Ireland, Wales and southwest England. Forecasters are warning that strong winds will combine with large waves on Monday, bringing the risk of coastal flooding in western and southern UK. Saturated ground. BBC forecaster Darren Bett said wind and rain would spread from the west through the course of a cold day. Roads are closed because of flooding in areas including Ayrshire, Herefordshire, Somerset, West Sussex, Surrey, Berkshire and Wiltshire. Some train routes in England, Wales and Scotland are also being disrupted by flooding and poor weather conditions, National Rail said. The Environment Agency said parts of England's northeast coast could see flooding while parts of the south coast, including Portsmouth and New Haven, were also at risk. There is an increased flooding risk to Weybridge and Guildford on Sunday and into Monday, and people living along the non-tidal Thames, including Oxford and Osney, could be at risk from Sunday, the agency said. In East Belfast, preparations for potential flooding are continuing, with thousands of sandbags being distributed. Environment Agency spokesman Jonathan Day added, "The risk of flooding to the coast will continue over the next few days, especially on the south and west coast and along the Severn estuary." In addition, wet conditions have left the ground saturated in many areas, increasing the risk of river and surface water flooding. Teenager missing. There are currently no severe flood warnings, indicating danger to life, in place across the UK. However, about 200 flood alerts, meaning flooding is possible, be prepared, are in place in England and Wales. In addition to about 70 flood warnings, hundreds of homes have been flooded, from Cornwall to Scotland, after storms battered the UK's coastline. Prime Minister David Cameron praised the incredible community response to the latest floods, and the great job the emergency services were doing. When asked if funding for flood defences was being cut too fast, he told BBC One's Andrew Marshall he expected record levels of spending on flood defences over the next 7 years, including £2.3 billion in this 4-year period. It comes after the government confirmed 1,500 jobs would go at the Environment Agency, with some reports suggesting this will include 550 workers from its floods team. Environment Secretary Owen Paterson has said the agency needs to make efficiency savings, but he had received assurances about frontline services. He said he would be chairing a meeting of the government's Cobra Emergency Committee on Sunday afternoon to ensure everything is being done on the ground to prepare for bad weather ahead. Meanwhile, the search for a teenager in Devon who has been missing since Thursday is continuing. Harry Martin, 18, from Memberland, Newton Ferrers, has not been seen since he left home to take photographs of stormy seas. BBC forecaster Jacob Cope said winds would start to pick up across some western areas on Monday morning, with gusts of up to 60 to 70 miles per hour. It could lead to travel disruption in some parts through rush hour, he said, as people return to work and school following the Christmas break.